Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a holographic slash chrome set, but most importantly I'm going to be showing you how to, or rather a beginner friendly tutorial of how to do an acrylic application, and then I'll also show you how I file. I will also show you how to apply the chrome powder. Okay, so let's get right into this video. I've already started off on the little finger. I've prepped these nails already. If you want to see a detailed tutorial of how to prep nails, how to clean and prep nails for acrylic application, then I would leave the link of my last video in the description so you guys can go check it out. But basically I'm making use of clear acrylic powder. I want to apply gel polish on these nails, so there's really no point using a colored powder. Clear is usually the best, powder to use. Okay, so what I'm basically doing is, first of all, I brush on some monomer on the nail tip, and this just helps my powder to not get any bubbles. Not that it matters because I'm going to be covering it with gel polish, but it's usually just, I would say, a force of habit. Yeah, but I brush on some monomer first, and then I pick up my first bead, and then I place it right where my nail tip and my natural nail meets, and then I try to pull it down towards the end of the nail tip, which would be the free edge. And then I try to make sure that or you want to make sure that you've kept you want to make sure that you clean up on your sides so that you don't have any powder seeping underneath the nails. It's usually very hard to get out once it's there. Okay, so I'm going to be sticking to the 3 bead method, although sometimes I would pick up more than 3 beads. You basically just want to use as much bead as you like. So first I'm going to brush on some monomer like I said earlier, then I'm going to pick up my first bead and place it just where my nail tip and my natural nail meets. Feather that down to the free edge and make sure that I clean up on my sides. I'll pick up my next bead and place it a little above where I placed that last bead, and then pull it or feather it into the rest of the nail. And then the next bead I'm going to pick would help form my cuticle. I'm going to gently push that bead into my cuticle and then just clean up on the sides as well. You really want to do this because you do know it's very hard to file out powder that, or sorry, products that has overflown into the cuticle. So you want to make sure that you try to keep it as neat as possible. And then over here I just added a little extra bead. Like I said, if you need a little more, always add. And then I'm going to repeat the same thing on every nail. So while working, you want to make sure that you wipe your brush constantly, because the last thing you want is for your brush to get all clogged up. So you'd see me wipe my brush virtually every time I place a bead, or I come in contact with a bead, or rather my brush comes in contact with a bead, I wipe. And this is just to take off that product that is stuck on the brush. It would help, it would make my brush a lot freer, if that's the word. But yeah, it just helps make the brush or it makes the brush walkable. Sorry, it makes the brush a lot walkable. And then I'm just going to show you guys lastly how I do the thumb. Usually the thumb is usually very challenging for some people, so I'll show you how I do it. I pick up a bead, and with the thumb I work with right about 4 beads. But like I said, I usually don't stick to the number of beads that I do. I use as much as I need, and I always pick up, especially when I work with clear powder. This clear powder sets really fast, so because of that I work with very small beads so that I can manipulate them around the nail how I want. And then I'm just gently going to pick up small beads and patch them into the areas that you want to make sure that you try as much as possible to have an even surface, because filing, like I said, if you're a beginner, you do not want to have so much to file, to be fair. And then right around that cuticle area, I just gently push my bead into the cuticle, and then I feather it into the free edge, and I patch up with any other bead where I think I need. Okay, so now that we are done with the application, we're going to move right ahead into filing. And guys, when it comes to acrylic, to be honest, it's really nothing to be scared of. Once you give it a go, you'd get it. It's practice. Okay, so to file, I do my free edge, my side walls first. I try to crisp up the sides and make it as crisp as possible, and then I go over the cuticles, and then I run my file from down. I run my file down from the cuticle area down to the nail bed, down to the free edge. And then you'd notice as I'm filing, I'm pulling away my model's skin from the cuticle area, and this is just to prevent me from cutting into her nail or from hurting her while I file. Also, what I do is towards the cuticle, when I file, I angle my file downwards, like into the cuticle, and this just also prevents me from cutting into my clients. Also, you want to make sure that your files are scored, or you've taken off the sharp edges from your file, and this all just adds up to not hurting your client. And then you want to feel around the nail while you file, so that if there's any place that there's bumps, you can quickly address it before moving on to your next step. So again, on the thumb, I'm going to crisp up the side walls very quickly, and then I go over the cuticle just like I'm doing, and then I run my file from the nail bed down to the free edge on one side, and I repeat the exact same thing on the other side, running my hand across the nail to make sure that I do not have any bumps, and I generally have a smooth surface. You can have your clients turn their hands around if it's comfortable for you. There is no harm in doing that. And then around the cuticle, I pull back the skin to ensure that I'm not cutting into my client. So if you're still watching at this moment and you find my videos very helpful and engaging, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications, so that when I upload a new video, you know about it. Thank you. Okay, so back to the tutorial. When I'm done filing, I buffer that nail till it's as smooth as I can get it to be. I buffer, and then I buffer the side walls as well, because you can have rough edges on the sides, and that's it doesn't help the polish apply smoothly. Okay, so I've had her wash her hands, and now I'm just going to apply gel polish. I'm using this dark pink gel polish from J&J Glam. I would leave the link in the description box, and I'm just going to show you guys how I apply my polish. For me, applying polish is like one of the favorite things I like to do, because I really don't know why, but it's usually very certain for me. So usually when I apply my polish, I try to be very gentle. My first layer is always as thin as I can get it to be, and this just helps so that when you cure your polish, you have a very smooth surface. And then towards the cuticle, I just push my brush, I flatten my brush and push it very gently into the cuticle, and that would help to keep prevent your polish from spilling or flooding the cuticle. And then after I'm done polishing, applying polish on one nail, I clean up on the side walls, because applying polish sometimes takes away the shape of your nail, and I still want to keep the stiletto as crisp as possible. So clean up on my sides. Okay, so I'm going to apply 2 coats of this polish, and then I will cure in between each layer for 60 seconds in the lamp, and then I'll come back and apply the holographic powder. Alrighty guys, we are back from the lamp, and okay, so I'm just going to use my applicator, or I'm already doing it actually, and these are the 2 powders I'm using. The first one, which I'm applying now, is a pearl chrome powder, yes, or some mermaid shimmery powder. I'll try to find out the name and then I'll leave the link for you guys to see, but I've had it for quite a while now. And then I'm sort of just doing like an ombre basically, but not exactly an ombre, just rubbing the holographic powder directly on the nail. Now I haven't like applied top coats to these nails, they are still tacky. When you do this, or when you want to apply your chrome powder, you want to apply it to a tacky surface, or sometimes a smooth surface also does too, but the tacky always just holds the powder better. That's just how I've used it anyways. But yeah, rubbing this on the nails, on all of the nails, like doing an ombre. I do the pearly one first on the tip, and then I do the holographic one on the on the other part of the nail. And then I just had her go or I just cleaned off her hands, sorry, I brushed off her hand, and you guys would notice I'm gently applying my top coat, as gentle as possible. Reasons being, and this is why you have to apply your polish as neat as possible as well. Now if I apply my top coat like anyhow, and I've got top coat spilling over the cuticles as well, that would cause my chrome powders to stay to like stick there, and I won't be able to get it out. So this is why I'm applying my top coat as neat as possible, and then we'll cure it in the lamp, and I'll show you guys the final reveal. Okay, so these are what nails look like after they've been fully done, cuticle oil and all. Thank you so much for watching this video, you guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and kindly subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram at LV and the brand. Stay safe and bye.